Remember this.
If your only argument for Caitlin is that it would have been a great marketing opportunity and you don't have basketball experience or chemistry with the group listed in your reasoning, I don't want to hear it.
This is the most popular women's basketball player in the world.
It was a stupid decision because it compromises what your ultimate goal is, which is to elevate the WNBA brand.
Stephen A., I could actually argue that it hurts the game more if they had given her a roster spot over someone more deserving. I think it makes a mockery of the women's game. If the focus on, now we just have to have people because of marketing and their intention, and they're not as talented, and we're not putting the best team out there.
Well, since then, Caitlin Clark won the Rookie of the Year award unanimously and finished 4th in MVP voting. She also led the entire league in assists. Let's see what they have to say now.
Some of us felt like maybe she hadn't proved it in the WNBA, but at this point, she certainly has. So she proved everybody wrong.
What about the guards? Let's talk about the guards that didn't make it. Talk about the guards that didn't make it. How they play, Andrea? Because you were one of the ones that say she didn't earn it. How did the guards play that was in the Olympics? How did they play?
For sure, but we can't take how Caitlin finished the W season and pivot that to how she would have done in the Olympics. That's a completely different argument.
All I'm saying is look at that point. Look at how she played up until that point. Chelsea Gray had only played one game before she went to the Olympics. She was outplaying Diana Taurasi. Was she outplaying Diana Taurasi at that point in time that she was on the team? It's a simple yes or a simple no.
Was Caitlin outplaying Diana Taurasi? But you can't just factor in current play, Shannon. That's all I'm saying. You got to factor in. Well, if you're factoring in Diana Taurasi's Olympic experience, Diana Taurasi's how she was with the team. I get it.
Shannon, hold on 1 second. Shannon,
this ain't a lifetime, an Olympic lifetime achievement.
Shannon Sharpe, hold on 1 second. What we're saying is you guys were right. That's what we're saying. You
no, Molly, you did not say that, Molly. No,
that is what you said.
That's not what you said, Molly.
What are you guys
That is not what you said.
I literally just brought it up.
You were talking about You were talking about folks making the point that, at the time that they had picked the Olympic team, Caitlin Clark didn't necessarily deserve it based on her play on the court. When the point that Shannon and I was making at the time was that, wait a minute, in the end, there are people that have ended up on Team USA for reasons other than just their elite play at that particular moment in time.
She was a marketing whiz. Right. And she was everyone right, because she is a marketing whiz and she did it on the court. That's what I'm saying.
Molly.
So you were ahead of the curve.
You're not listening, Molly. You're not listening. I'm talking about your point, Molly. Your point.
And I'm explaining it to you.
At the end of the day, we were making the point, do you want to promote the league or not? And people like Andrea and others were resistant to that playing a role in somebody making the roster for Team USA. And we were saying, hell with that. You want to promote the sport. You put that girl up in there, and people were appalled at that notion. That was the subject.
But Stephen A., this is just going to come from different perspectives because you all's initial point was a marketing point, and that was what I was arguing with. That was what I was arguing with,
right.
The marketing point for Caitlin. What Molly is trying to say, and what I agree with, is now that we have seen how Caitlin finished this season, there is a good basketball argument for her being on the team, for her making the team. There is now a great basketball argument. But listen, no, Shannon, listen. How she's playing right now, you just said it 5 minutes ago, was a testament to the rest that she had and the break that she had. We don't know how she would have played without that break. So we're saying Caitlin has now proven herself basketball-wise, but you all weren't making a basketball argument. You weren't making a basketball argument.
We're not saying we were making a basketball argument.
Andrea, I'm not going to let you do that.
Go ahead,
Andrea, I'm not going to let you make it seem like Caitlin Clark was averaging 5 points a game. At the time, she was still averaging 16 points a game, which was more than a lot of other guards that made the team. So don't do that. Don't make it seem like she was averaging 5 points and this was like a handout.
No, it wasn't a handout.
Look at her numbers. Comparable to the other guards that were on the team. That's all I'm saying.
So now Molly and Andrea are saying that at the time, Clark hadn't proven she was good enough to make the Olympic roster, which isn't true. Caitlin Clark was good enough to make the Olympic team even at that time. She was playing better than Diana Taurasi and the injured Chelsea Gray. But Molly said that selecting Clark would have made a mockery of the sport.
I think it makes a mockery of the women's game. If the focus on, now we just have to have people because of marketing and their attention, and they're not as talented, and we're not putting the best team out there.
Even though they did the same thing with rookie Candace Parker and Breanna Stewart. Molly also said that Clark wasn't as talented as the other players on the team, even though Caitlin Clark is one of the most talented basketball players of all time. Basketball was never the reason for Clark being left off the team. To Stephen A. and Shannon's point, if Clark was already good enough to make the team, why would you deny her a spot when she's the most popular basketball player the league has ever seen, especially when you've allowed other rookies on the team in the past? But I guess Clark will just have to continue proving everyone wrong.